So we're starting to learn more and more about who's responsible for the inadequate security at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. And shockingly, some of it is beginning to circle back to Donald Trump. Let's talk about that. Because following the conspiratorial breadcrumbs, like justice, matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So another QAnon theory bites the dust today. Because today the Q crew said that there would be another attack on the Capitol and it would coincide with Donald Trump being named, being installed, being sworn in as the 19th President of the United States. Don't ask. But an attack did not materialize today. It didn't gain traction. Why? Well, there was no Donald Trump ginning it up on social media. No Donald Trump urging the racists, the white supremacists, the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, the QAnon crew. No Donald Trump urging them, come to D.C., it will be wild, fight, fight, fight. Didn't materialize today. I would actually argue, folks, that the absence of violence today reinforces that the occurrence of violence on January 6th was a Donald Trump production, start to finish. And speaking of Donald Trump-inspired violence, we've been learning a lot during a series of Senate hearings about what happened on January 6th. I'm not going to call them security failures because the more we learn, the more it looks like an outright orchestration. Who are the men responsible for depriving the U.S. Capitol and everybody in that building of the security forces they needed to protect themselves against the Trump-inspired attack? Who was it that not only deprived the people in the Capitol of the security forces they needed, but who then delayed the deployment of the National Guard once all hell broke loose at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th? Well, we now know who they were. They were guys like General Charles Flynn, Mike, the admitted felon, Flynn's brother. And they were guys like Acting Secretary of Defense, Chris Miller. Remember him? Remember all the questions we had about him when Donald Trump appointed Chris Miller as the Acting Secretary of Defense after Donald Trump lost the election? That had nothing to do with the efficient running of the Department of Defense. That had nothing to do with national security. But now we're getting a sense of why Donald Trump installed an entirely unqualified Acting Secretary of Defense after Donald Trump lost the election. Yeah, we had a lot of questions. Some other questions we had was, why is Chris Miller, the newly installed Acting Secretary of Defense, why is he obstructing the Biden transition team? Remember the reporting? It wasn't that long ago. This from Axios. Pentagon halts Biden transition briefings. Acting Secretary of Defense Chris Miller ordered a Pentagon-wide halt to cooperation with the transition of President-elect Biden, shocking officials across the Defense Department. Well, given what it looks like Chris Miller and Charles Flynn are responsible for on January 6th, looks like we might have some answers to those questions. Why did Donald Trump install Chris Miller after he lost the election. Why did Chris Miller stop all progress of the Biden transition team at the Department of Defense? You know, folks, I am not a conspiracy theorist, but I've investigated, indicted, and tried enough conspiracy cases that I can tell you conspiracies are alive and well. And they sure seem to thrive inside Donald Trump's federal government. Given what we have learned about Chris Miller and about Charles Flynn regarding their blocking adequate security forces from responding to the Capitol on January 6th, given what we're learning, I see a little something called adequate predication. What does that mean? It's a fancy legal term for enough evidence. Enough evidence to open a conspiracy investigation and look at the culpability, the criminality of guys like Charles Flynn and Chris Miller. I would say stay tuned to this one, folks, because for guys like Charles Flynn and Chris Miller, justice may just come yet. And justice matters.